Hey guys, Josh Mabe here, M&H Training, and we are back with another episode of Sundays on the Range. And we're just kind of hanging out here today, and this is also going to be a part 3 to the first cheapest AR fully built videos that we did. If you remember, I got the Anderson Manufacturing. It was a fully built rifle for $349.99. At the time, it was the least expensive, fully built, ready to shoot out of the box AR I could find anywhere online without being used. Then, when we took it out to the range, did a little shooting with it, shot a couple times okay, then it started acting like a single shot every single time. It would not eject or load a shell. You had to rack it back. So we did a little more investigating, found out that the gas block from the manufacturer was never even tightened down. When I took the handguard out, you could just take the gas block and slide it up and down the barrel. I mean, it wasn't even remotely tightened. So we put the gas block on just a little bit, pretty quick, didn't really do much to it, and threw it back together, shot okay for a little bit, and then started doing basically the same thing again. I didn't get it on the first part of this video. For some reason my camera wasn't recording, so I apologize about that. But I took the gas block off, cleaned everything, made sure the hole was clear, made sure the gas tube was clear, put it back on perfectly aligned, because this one actually didn't even have any notches on the bottom of the barrel to align it for you. So you had to be really careful to make sure you got it centered. So I've got that back on. I've got it tightened down to where it needs to be. And that was when I realized my video wasn't recording. I'm not going to take that back off after doing the final adjustments. I'm just letting y'all know that's what I did. What we're going to do now is just drop this. What we're going to do now is just make sure this gun is clean. We're going to double check all the internals, make sure all of that is up to par, make sure everything is done, and then we're going to test fire this again. This will be the last video that I do on this particular rifle before I give my final opinion on it at the end of this video. So I just want to give every chance that I got without replacing any parts or doing anything special. It's still the original gas block, original gas tube, original bolt carrier group. Everything's still the same as it was when I got it. I just want to give it every chance I got before I make a final decision on it, because right now I'm not extremely pleased with it. So one thing I want to do, so I've got some basic cleaning oil and lubricant. Clean everything inside good. Because I like the idea of having a inexpensive AR that works reliable. And so far, honestly, from what without having to break anything apart and do anything, if y'all watch the other cheap AR video I did, it was the ATI, it was the Alpha Maxx. It's the one that's got a polymer upper, polymer lower, polymer forend or handrail. I don't like everything polymer, but I will say it shot perfectly fine. It had a couple hiccups, but that could have been chalked up to it's a brand new AR and I was shooting subsonic ammo out of it. If I was shooting supersonic ammo out of it, may not have had any issues. I'm not sure. I didn't have any supersonic 300 Blackout. All I had was subsonics. So I didn't want to give that one a bad review based just on that. But overall, the gun shot good, felt good shooting. I had no real major complaints with it, but it was owned by Tony, which you've seen on this channel a few times, and he's not a big fan of polymer. The only reason he bought that gun was because he was wanting a 300 Blackout full-size rifle. He had been looking at uppers and everything else, but the 300 Blackout uppers that he would found in full size were running between $600 and $800. He didn't really want to drop that much in it. Then he thought about just buying the barrel and gas block gas tube and just replacing the barrel on one of his other AR-15s. Then I showed him that really cheap polymer one. He's like, I'll just go ahead and buy that one, and you can do a video on it, have another cheap AR video. Since that one was only $319, it became the cheapest AR I could find fully built. So once we got done with that first video, if you watch the other Sundays on the Range episode, we actually took that gun all the way apart, took all the polymer stuff off of it. We ended up taking the barrel off the upper receiver, took the gas block off, took the gas tube out, and he had another AR with all steel everything. We took its barrel off. We put that 300 Blackout barrel on his, put everything back together. Now he's got the 300 Blackout full-size rifle on a full AR platform with better receiver, better upper receiver, better hand guard, better stock, all the way around. So basically the only thing he used out of it was the barrel. We did put that gun back together as a 5.56, so he still got it. He's still going to shoot that, see how it does. But yeah, I can't do any more videos on that one because it's already been taken apart. Might do it on the 5.56 version at some point just to see how the polymer stuff holds up to a lot of shooting. But yeah, that's about all I know on that one. Anyway, I'm just doing a good thorough cleaning here. And then I'm going to lubricate this thing really well. Everywhere stuff rubs. And then we're going to test it and see if it actually functions properly this time. I read somewhere online these cheap ARs like to run very wet. So I'm going to put a little extra oil on here. And all these little cracks and crevices. Come on, get back in track. There we go. Like I said, I'm giving her a fair shot. She's gonna be all kinds of lubricated. All right, let's get this handguard put back on. We get it snug. You don't want to get it too tight. Don't want to strip any of that aluminum out there. She's back together. So let's throw some ammo in here. I am shooting PNC 5.56 brass, of course. Full metal jacket, 55 grain. Oops. Drop one. Get some ears on here. Hate this sight on here. If y'all watch my other video, y'all already know that though. So let's see how she does. She functions. And if you notice, she stayed back. That's a big improvement from that first time. Try this again. One shot. Stayed back. Stayed back. Now, we got it to do that the other time as well. After we did the first gas block thing, then I loaded 5 rounds in. Wanted to try rapid fire, and that's where she fell apart. So let's try this real quick. This is going to be rapid fire. So yeah, let's go. Still stayed back. Three more rounds. Still stayed back. Still stayed back. So, we'll drop this. Safe direction. Click. Magazine's out. She is empty. Alright. That is much better than last time. I'm actually pleased with this. Still, despise this sight right here. This is the UTG. If you ever plan on getting a UTG red dot, this is the SCP-RD40. This is red and green. Keep in mind, you will have to get a riser, because where my cheek feels right is right here. Where I have to be to see through the red dot is right here. So if you notice, I'm down here on my cheekbone, like under my eye socket, versus on my cheekbone where I should be. So if you get one of those sights, you are going to need a riser. But other than that, the gun feels great. It's a basic AR. When it comes to ARs, honestly, they're all going to feel roughly the same unless you start getting into specific length handguards, specific stocks, specific optics, specific grips, everything else, they're all, if it's a standard run-of-your-mill AR, they're all going to feel basically the same. This is a nondescript, it's not mag pull, anything like that, just basic stock aluminum fore-end, just like any others. This particular one, if you look at these online, this one's got your Picatinny rail here, got your Picatinny rail on the end for a front sight, and then you've got M-lock on the top here, M-lock on the side, M-lock on the bottom, M-lock on this side. So you can add any accessories. You can add another rail here if you need to for any reason. But at least the gun functions now. So if y'all remember, like I said, we talked about it earlier, but on that first video I did of it, had nothing but issues. Realized the gas block wasn't even tightened down. Also, when I took the gas block out, if you ever look at your gas block on a lot of ARs, or most ARs that I've owned, some of them on the bottom of the gas block will have a pin that you can tap out, and the bottom of the barrel is notched so that pin goes through the notch. Or they will have, they've made like little sets here on the bottom of the barrel where if you snug the screw down just a little bit, you can wiggle your gas block and it'll line up right in the center of that. It's kind of like they punched it a little bit, and then you can tighten it down. It'll keep it from rotating. It always lines up. This one didn't have any of that. It's just straight on there. So if I keep this rifle, which I probably will, I'm going to end up setting it so that the screws set themselves and they can't wiggle and go left or right. So I'll end up doing that if I keep it. I do think it's a good AR. I think it's probably as good as any inexpensive AR that you can buy. Here is where I don't like it. I am a big proponent of, and a lot of people disagree with this, if I buy a gun, I don't care how cheap it is. If I buy an actual firearm, fully built from a company, quality control should bare minimum have everything tightened where it needs to be, that I can take it out of the box and shoot it without issue. I understand it's less quality control when you go cheaper. I'm not talking about machining, having some rough edges, or something having a burr on it, or having to file down a little bit so your magazine's not too tight, or make the magazine. I'm talking about the actual function of the firearm. It's kind of a moot point now because Ruger bought Anderson Manufacturing and has closed them. So at the moment, there is no Anderson Manufacturing. So long to the poverty pony. Because I do love their lowers. I've got several lowers over there at my house hanging on my wall, just waiting to be built into something. But I hate that the quality control wasn't good enough to make sure that the gas block was attached properly, or at least even tightened down. So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I just want to let you know, so far this is the second budget AR that I've done. I've built multiple PSA ARs. That's using their uppers, that's using their lowers. But I've changed gas block. I've ordered specific gas blocks for them, ordered specific gas tubes for them. I've ordered different bolt carrier groups for them. I've ordered new trigger, or if I didn't get a whole new trigger assembly, I got a better grade parts kit for the fire control group and everything. I may have changed out the buffer spring. I've did little things here and there to make them better than just your basic run-of-the-mill off-the-shelf ARs. But what I'm talking about is the fully built ones. What you need to watch out for: a lot of inexperienced shooters might be wanting to jump into the AR game and want to find something inexpensive so they can still afford ammo and everything else to get out and shoot some. Just know, if you buy one of the cheap ARs, while once fully tuned and adjusted, they may do great. As you see, heavy lubrication, cleaning, my adjustments I did on the gas block, everything else, this gun just shot perfectly fine. And I'm sure as it gets used a little bit more, gets broken in, all the wear and tear and the new stuff wears off, I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine for going out to the range and shooting. But if you are going to go the cheap AR route, this is the second one I've had, and the second one we've had to do some minor adjustments on. So just be aware, if you get a less expensive AR, you're probably going to have to do a little bit of tweaking. So make sure you're familiar with how the gas system operates. Make sure you're familiar with how the function of an actual AR operates. Watch a bunch of videos, get a little more familiar with it. That way, if you do spend your $350 to get an AR and you do run into issues, you're just not sitting there like, what do I do now? Obviously, I've worked with ARs for many, many years, so I knew how to fix the issues as they arose. We went through the multiple videos just going over how to troubleshoot the different things that could go wrong. And we ended up fixing it. The gun needs some lubrication till it's better broke in. The gas block needed to be adjusted and tightened to where it properly needed to be. And now this gun is a good range gun. I don't think I'll have any more issues out of this. If I keep it, I'm going to upgrade a lot of the parts. I do not like standard factory triggers. I'm going to upgrade that trigger. I'm going to upgrade probably the selector switch. I'm going to I'll probably keep the gas block as is. I'm just going to go in there and make those little indentions so the screws can set themselves where they need to be. And if I feel like I'm going to leave that there, I'll probably go ahead and stake them so that they can't back out. Definitely changing this optic, that's for sure. But yeah, I just want to make sure you're aware that if you get a cheap AR, at least know the basics of how they operate so you can troubleshoot, so you can fix. Don't get discouraged if you get the AR and anything sub $400 and it's not working perfectly. Just know you might have to tweak a few things. Me personally, I would rather, if I wanted to go the inexpensive route, I would rather check PSA for a good daily deal or a good holiday deal. Grab you a fully built upper, grab you a fully built lower, or grab you a strip lower, better trigger, and basic parts kit. Put it together yourself. You're getting a better trigger that way. And from what I have seen, of all of the PSA uppers I've used, I've probably built somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 rifles off PSA uppers. I have not seen a quality control issue yet where the gas block wasn't properly set from the manufacturer. They're generally staked as well. So that's one thing I have not had to worry about. I'm not going to say it's impossible. Things can get missed, so I'm not making promises. I'm just saying, out of the 30 to 50 that I have used, I have not seen an issue with the gas system, with their uppers having any kind of issues. I buy some of their blemish stuff, so they have a scratch here, a little ding there, but that's no big deal. But I would rather buy something like that so you can replace parts. You could get your upper without the bolt carrier group. Go get you a better bolt carrier, better charging handle. You can do some little tweaks and still not be that much more, but you'll get a much better rifle, in my opinion. And that's all I really wanted to say. Just be prepared if you buy a fully built budget rifle that you might have to do some maintenance on it to get it function properly. This is the third video on this one. and this is success. Second video, didn't do anything but have it tightened down and just went over it to see, really fine tune and troubleshoot what was causing it. And then this video, after we knew it was the gas system was the main issue, the third video, went back, did that, cleaned the gun, oiled it up, made sure it was very lubricated, and she just ran perfectly fine with the standard nondescript magazine that it came with. No issues. So yeah, she's a good gun now. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you learned a little something. Like I said, when you get into the ARs, they're fun to work on. They're easy to work on. As you saw, it's easy to take the handguard off. It's easy to pop the upper off. If you've got a vise, it's extremely easy to change, put a custom barrel on here. This is like an adult Lego set with firearms. You can do so much stuff with these. Change out the triggers. Everything is very simple, very easy to use. It just takes doing it. Once you've fully built an AR, I'm talking every spring, every pin, barrel, gas tube, fore end, everything. Once you've built one or two of those, you can fly through assembling an AR, and you can change out all the internals, anything that you want to possibly change out. It's very fun. You can adjust them how you want them. You can really customize them to your fit. You can get different color customizations, everything, and have really good firearms and fairly inexpensive. So yeah, as I said, this gun, as it sits right here, without the optic, was $349. It did not cost me anything for the maintenance I had to do on it to get it shooting. Adjusting the gas block, that just took time. And it doesn't take that much time if you pay attention to what you're doing, getting everything smooth. It's a little harder because this one didn't have the notches or anything in there for lining it up, making sure it's perfectly straight over top of the hole. But we did it no problem, and oiled up, and she's shooting. Some of y'all, I mean, I've seen some comments. Some of y'all have bought the same guns, took them out of the box, threw a magazine in them, and shot them perfectly fine all day long. Have not had any issues. But anytime you're working with something inexpensive, you run into those quality control issues, and just be aware you may have to, I don't want you to get too discouraged if you get one of those. You may have to do some working to get it functioning. So that's just something I want you to be aware of when you're buying budget, fully built guns. If you can part them out and build them yourself, you'll get a much higher quality gun at not a lot more money, as long as you watch for sales and stuff like that. And PSA daily deals, even if you're not going with PSA brand, they put all types of brands, parts, everything else on their daily deals, so it's really hard to beat. I know PSA gets a lot of bad rep from people that prefer all of the high-end stuff, but you can get high-end stuff from PSA at a good price if you watch the sales. I think that's about it. I enjoyed talking with you all about this. Like I said, there's been another episode of Sundays on the Range, but also part 3 of the budget AR, and that's my final opinion. I would not be afraid to buy another Anderson fully built gun. I wouldn't be afraid to buy one of the Alpha Maxx, the polymer guns, if you want something just for getting out plinking on the range. But just be prepared to do a little maintenance on them. The polymer guns, they seem to hold up fine. I'm not a giant fan of polymer ARs, and I know that's funny coming from somebody whose favorite handgun is a Glock, which are polymer frames. But with the ARs, on the lower and the upper's polymer, it just, I don't know, something doesn't seem right. And if you look at the polymer on that other one, no more shots than we did. It had all, somebody else doing some shooting. No more than we had shot right here. This little block here, it catches the brass hits, throws it out of your face. That had got eaten all to pieces just from brass hitting it. So just something to think about if you're looking at polymer. If I was going to do a ton of shooting, if you're going to the range a couple times a month, maybe every week, or you're going to be doing some like IDPA or 3-gun matches, anything like that, something where you're getting a lot of use out of it, I probably would not go with the budget ARs. I would step up a little bit, or just build one from the parts you like. Get the handguard you want, get the lower you want, get the parts kit you want, get the trigger you want, get the barrel you want, get the gas block, gas tube, all of that, and set it up how you want it. If you do that over, I mean, you can spread that over a couple paychecks and you're not going to notice that much. You're buying parts piece by piece. But that's some little ideas if you're working with a budget. Things I've worked around to build guns that I wanted to build when I didn't have the money to go out and buy one right away. I'd buy the lower, then I'd go buy an upper, or I'd go buy a barrel, then I'd buy the handguard I wanted, then I'd buy the upper receiver, then I'd go buy the, if I saw a good deal with a stock and a buffer system, I'd go buy that. So there's ways to get around it if you're working on a budget. And if you're working on a budget, you probably know how to be a little more frugal on what you buy and wait for deals, wait for sales. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just talking about budget ARs and finishing up this video. What I'm going to do with this one, I don't really know yet. Probably I'm going to take this optic off. Probably I've been wanting to set one up closer to like an M4 A1 design. So probably going to be changing out this fore end, getting me a quad rail on here, probably put me a vertical grip on it, going to get me a good flashlight on it, going to get me a little bit better optic, and I'll have some backup irons on there because I definitely believe in backup irons when you've got anything that's battery powered as far as red dot. If it doesn't have an etched crosshair, etched dot, anything like a prism scope or anything like that, you always want backup irons because anything electronic can and will fail at some point. So always have your backup irons just in case. And that's the video. Thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all next time on the range. I believe Wednesday coming up, we have got the Glock 34 video. And then not quite sure what we're going to do on the next Sundays on the range, but I've got a couple more product reviews coming up. The way we're going to start doing, sorry, I know I said we were done, but I forgot to say this. The way we're going to start doing the videos in the future is I still work full-time. I work between 45 and 60 hours a week with my job. I also run a film festival that runs every October. This is getting into our busy time. I also have a wife and a daughter, so I like to spend some free time with them. And I also like to have my alone time, which is getting out deer hunting every fall. So deer season's coming up and everything. So the way we're going to run this throughout the fall and winter is we will have a video every Wednesday. We will have, and it'll be on either a product review, a comparison video, something to do with firearms, optics, products, anything like that. Every Sunday will be Sundays on the range. So we'll get out and talk about something firearms or outdoor related. And then periodically, as I pick up little things and have the time, you will see some videos pop up. You might see it pop up on a Monday, on a Friday, but there'll be little bonus videos, and I'll definitely let y'all know. I'll do some shorts leading up to it, so y'all be sure to catch up. And we're just going to do 2 main videos a week from now until after first of the year. After first of the year, we'll probably go back to our 3 videos a week and shorts in between. But until then, that's the plan. I really appreciate y'all watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell if you would. That way you'll be updated on all the new content, anything that we do. In case we pop up a bonus video, you'll be alerted right away. And I just really want to thank y'all. I'm going to do a couple short videos to talk about this, but we just hit 1 million views on the channel. We have broken 1 million views, and I can't thank y'all enough for that. I cannot believe that we've had over 1 million views on just me sitting out here talking on the range. It's really cool, and I just want to say thank y'all. So I will see y'all next time on the range. Y'all have a wonderful day.